This is Where the Waters Meet. I'm Christina, and today we're going to be taking a look at the murals of Reynaldo Hernandez, a Milwaukee artist and muralist, and later we'll be talking to him about his latest mural.
But this is the first. I used to work at WTMJ Channel 4 as a courtroom sketch artist and a graphic artist, and then I left in the early 80s. And this is the first mural I did outdoors. This is on Martin Luther King Drive in Concordia. Used to be called Green Bay Avenue. And this was done through a barter system. The owner of the building owned the whole building that goes almost a block, and he was going to have a nightclub, so he hired me to put up advertising. Instead, I did the painting, and his equipment was ripped off, and so he never opened up, but I had a nice painting advertisement of what I do. So that got me started. Plus, instead of paying me, I had studio space for a year inside the building, and also he put up half of a roof on my house, because he was a roofer. So
that's pretty good.
Good business, I said.
How did you decide to do murals?
I don't know if it's in my blood. It goes back to the Mexican muralist, Diego Rivera and Orozco Siqueiros. I just always liked the art form. Plus, it's a different type of, if you study art itself, muralists or muralism, you're working with people and cultures, and it's also almost like social work too, what I find working with different disadvantaged youth, I call them, or just at-risk kids, whatever, they have all these different labels, but you're working with communities and their problems. This is probably the most well-known of my murals in the city of Milwaukee. I think mainly because of the location, 7th and North Avenue, right along I-43 Expressway. It was designed, I went right on the expressway itself. You have to look at a mural from different angles, see how people are going to look at it when they walk by it, when cars drive by. Here's a freeway system, so I designed the images real large so you can see it looking up the hill, and you can see it from the expressway. That's why thousands of people see it when they commute in and out of Milwaukee every day. This is on the Milwaukee Inner City Arts Council building, and the theme is chosen by what goes on inside the building, the different art forms, the visual arts, the dancing, the drumming, the singing, music, and symbols. I use symbols in my murals. Also, I use history. It starts with the Mask of Benin from Africa, so it teaches art history and also history of the world and cultures, people. So the kids themselves will have to look and investigate and study the history by looking at the walls.
So, hello.
Hi.
You're Reynaldo Hernandez?
This is true.
Yes, and this is one of your murals.
This is one of the latest ones. Just finished. Paint might still be fresh, so we won't lay on it. But
okay, where is this?
This is in Puerto Rico, but the mural, this wall is in Milwaukee. We're on near the corner of Holton Street and Center Street intersection. The building is El Centro del Niño Child Care Center, daycare. And we're in the back by the fence where the kids play, in the back of the building. And this is like a 3-story building.
Really?
It's a huge mural. How tall is it?
How tall is it? Yeah, way up there?
Yeah, it's so tall. Last week we had some pretty rough winds. It's scary. You're on scaffolding and it's shaking up there. That's living dangerously, but it's part of the job, getting up there. Well, it's depicting
tell us.
the Puerto Rican culture. So we're looking at Puerto Rico, really. If you look right up here, you see this is San Juan, this landmark in Puerto Rico. In old San Juan, this is, we call it El Morro, which is like a fortress in San Juan. They fought off the different cultures that tried to come in, defending the island in the 15th century, 1600s, whatever, when the pirates were around. So that's the landmark in Puerto Rico. Another landmark, if you look on the mural, we go on this end. On this leaf, you see a little frog up there?
Yes.
That's el coquí, they call it. It's a little frog about the size of our fingernail. It lives only in the island of Puerto Rico. I don't know if you know this. They try to take him to different islands, different parts of the world, he would die. He only lives on the island. Only spot in the world is in Puerto Rico. He makes a little sound like a cricket. Coquí, coquí, coquí. That's how he got his name. So he's up there as a symbol of Puerto Rico. And there we see the ocean, the palmas, the palm trees. What's nice, I got to use like the sunset So if you're going from Locust Street, where that siren is, the ambulance, you could see it all the way down there. If it wasn't for the trees, you really see it good. The sunset and the reflection.
And the way the sun hits it when it comes up in the morning?
Right. There's a lot of detail in here compared to the other murals I've done. Blending in the sky and the shading and the sun and the water, reflections.
People's faces.
Yeah, and then
detail.
there's the people on the front.
Yes. What does the dove symbolize? Is it a dove?
Yes, it's a dove, and it's got the olive branch, so it's a symbol of peace. You see the children reaching out to it, so it's almost like a symbol of what's happening in the 90s, even though things are getting better in the world, like in Europe and Russia and the Berlin Wall. Things happen and people are really enthusiastic, yet peace is not really attainable. It's almost there, and then something else will break out in the world, in the Middle East or this part. There's war again, so that's how peace is. It's elusive. Man tries and tries, and yet he doesn't get a hold of it permanently. So that's what that symbol is. So that's how the mural would change. And when it was the original cartoon or design showed they're reaching out to a butterfly. But as I got into it in the community, the neighborhood, peace was on my mind. That's what's needed more than just a butterfly. So I changed it.
So your murals can change?
Yeah, they change. You have the concept or an idea. And sometimes I'll start a mural and not really know what it's going to look like at the end. And then, which is good. Some of the people I'm doing it for, they're either the principal of their schools or the agencies, they allow me, or they have that confidence in me that I can just go ahead and do it and they know it'll come out good.
And that's a sign of a true artist, too.
Yeah, it should be that way.
So
You should have a little leeway to
yourself.
change things. Just like a writer or a poet, you can change your script or your idea, your rhyme. And that's what I like about it. It's different. But this is a nice one. I'm proud of it. It was a lot of work. It was rough.
How long did it take?
It started in August, but I was doing 2 other murals. So you could do a little bit and go back to work on the other one if you're really tired at night. The elements, doing it outside, you have the rain. We had a whole week of rough rain.
In which you can't
And
work?
you have a deadline. Deadline doesn't change. The dedication's at a certain date, yet the weather will mess you up. So you have to play catch up. You have to go to the other people you're doing murals and tell them, beg for time, put them off a week, and the other one a week, and get back to this one to get it done. So it's a challenge. Also, another thing is that you have the people that look at it. It doesn't always look as good as it's finished with all the detail. And they won't understand. It'll be halfway through and it'll look kind of rough. They don't know how far you're going to take it till it's ended, till it's finished.
Right.
So you have people just walk by like they don't notice it. At the end, when it's the last day, then you get comments. It looks good. Está bonita. Qué linda. They like it. Then you know you made it. So that's your audience. Those are your critics. You want to please the people, the common people,
people
that
in the
working class
neighborhood?
people, right?
Yeah.
And the people that drive by. They appreciate it. They don't maybe live here, but they'll give the thumbs up. That's what you're looking for. That's your. It's not just the money. It's the working for please the people. So it's a gallery.
It is.
Some of these people around here never go to the art museum or downtown to the galleries or wherever they are. Here, that's in their neighborhood. They can drive by and appreciate art and see it.
The art
so that's
gallery
part of the fulfillment, right?
of the world.
Yep, and it doesn't close, open 24 hours.
Right. And this woman and child, is this because it's on a daycare center?
A daycare, right. They didn't want this. This is the second design. The first design was the daycare wanted children and swinging on trees and playing. The director of the building, he wanted this design. So what he'd do, he'd just scratch out what he wanted, palm trees, El Moro, this and that, and I could just take it from there.
And this is a children's park here.
Yeah, this is for the daycare. So like a school, and they come here, that's why it's fenced in.
This is your ball, yes? You want to come get it? Quick, come get it.
So let's ask him.
We'll ask him. Come.
¿Cómo
Up
está?
here.
¿Tú hablas español? You speak Spanish?
Now, do you speak English?
You speak English?
How do you like it?
You like it?
You
You're
do?
gonna help protect it so nobody messes it up? What does it say to you? Anything? Or does it just look pretty? What about here? What are these kids doing? Reaching out. Yeah, we know what kind of bird that is? Is it a robin? That's a dove, a white dove. It's a symbol of peace. See, I don't know if you know that. Did you know that? Yeah, so you can learn from the walls. How do you like the sunset up there and the rainbow? You know what the rainbow's a symbol of? A rainbow in the sky? When I'm an artist, we use it as a symbol of different people, of different colors and races, nationalities, getting along together. That's why, see, the rainbow has different colors, right? That's a symbol. So you can learn things.
Who draws this?
Oh, me.
He did.
You didn't see me working on it?
He was painting on it.
I've been working on it for a little while. Did you notice a little frog on the leaf? Did you see him before? Or you just now discovered him? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
That's him. Well.
Come here for a second. Okay.
What's your name?
Right here. What's your name?
Derek.
Derek.
Say it real loud. Say
Derek.
it. Derek. Okay, and you too. Come on in. What's your name?
Latrell.
What's that?
Here, turn around.
Latrell.
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 Oh, okay. How old are
here.
you?
Yeah, how old are you?
7.
7 and
7.
7. You guys buddies? You know each other? Yeah. You playing here a lot? Yeah.
Well, you can shake hands with the artist then.
If I did a good job, give me 5. If I didn't, you don't have to. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks. So it's true that that it's constantly being seen, right? Because this little wall came here where they were playing.
So when it's finished, it's protected more than when it's in stages. When it's in stages, there's scaffolding up there, and people can play around with not only the mural, but the scaffolding. It's like
really?
a
Like the
big gym for the kids. Yeah, like there was a jar of paint left, and it was spilled on the wall or thrown on it just because they can climb up the scaffolding. But now it's down, and now it's finished, so now it's respected as a work of art. So I'm glad. Otherwise, I have to come back and touch up.
Well, how many murals have you made in your lifetime? What do you think?
I know in the state of Wisconsin, I've done some in Puerto Rico, I've done over 55 murals. Surprised my own self.
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. Time to retire, but no, then there's always another one.
Over what amount of time?
Since about a decade. Yeah, since the 80s, early 80s. Been doing it full time just about.
It seems to me that those symbols will be taken in, even if a child is very small and can't articulate it or anything. They'll see it.
Right.
They can learn through the picture.
They're universal symbols too, not only in the north, this part of their world, but in all cultures. The rainbow and the handshake, the brotherhood, the dove. That's why we use them, so we can communicate without words. In fact, that's the challenge. Try to give a theme or a story or moral or tell a problem without using words, using symbols and concepts and art and paint.
Right. It's the language of art.
Right. Here's another audience that doesn't really get out to view the arts. We bring the arts right to them. These are the guys in the juveniles in Ethan Allen Wales Correctional Institution. Another grant from the Wisconsin Arts Board.
What kind of?
So we're working in here.
Are they?
These guys?
Right, like they.
What are you in for?
Well, no, I'm saying they're minors. Are they minors?
No, they're like, I would say like 13 and 19. In the teenage years. They picked the theme, and they call it Champions of Change. And they use symbols to show how they change their attitude and the symbolisms. So there's the centerpiece, the phoenix rising from the ashes.
From the fire,
Right, so they had to learn what the phoenix was and history of it. Every 500 years, the phoenix would die in a funeral pyre, and a new young one would come up, rebirth, being born.
Through the fire.
Right.
Yeah, through the fire of their lives.
Either they liked the project, or maybe it looked like a gang symbol to them, but they they got into the project. There they are. They were proud of it, though. They were a really good group to work with.
They were.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a captive audience, but they were serious. They came to work. It was different working inside a correctional institution, though. You can't leave your stuff around. It might be stolen. Certain things are contraband. They said like a roll of masking tape could be used for a weapon, so you had to watch everything and lock it up.
So where are we now?
Well, the location, we're on 51st Street, right in back of St. Joseph Hospital. So I think we're between south of Burleigh and 51st, and I think that's what Chambers. Well, we're right by, alongside of Sherman Multicultural Art School. That's where we are. Looking at a mural that was done not just with myself, but with about 500 other assistants, which are the students of the school, kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade. Everyone came out in classes and worked on the wall, all the way from the idea, the design. So I went into classes and brainstormed with the students, and if they couldn't draw, they could write it out. They sketched little things. So I had classes of piles of ideas. And then I went through them on weekends and got a design together. And even still, it wasn't enough design because this wall is like longer than a football field.
Wow, it is? Wow.
It's only like 4 feet high, 300 feet long. First it was 227, but when I started painting, it must have grew. It was 300 something. Got me mad.
Yeah, I bet.
But that's the problem. So
But
you
it's
almost
nice
have to do your
height.
design on a roll of toilet paper. It's so long.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice height for children.
Yeah, it is.
To be able to
You can
have.
see it. As you can see, like in the beginning, that's the mascot of the school, the tiger. You have to make things larger. How are you going to put the whole head in?
Right,
So you have to design it so it tells the story and still shows. Same with the figures of heads. So if somebody's running, you have to have them really running, like a cartoon.
Yeah, right, like elongated. So we'll walk along and look at it.
Every mural has a different problem. This is really like, it's real rough. Stones hanging out of it. And the school board had it sanded.
So
I didn't really want to do it on this wall because it's not the best support. It's drain holes in it. And there was cracks on the wall. I told the school board it was because you can't just have one long cement concrete wall. You have like a sidewalk with cracks. So things can expand and contract. But no, they didn't listen. The engineers patched everything up. And you see how the ground moves and cracks it out. So there's some repair has to be done.
what does it get drawn out with first? Crayon? Pencil?
Use ebony pencil, China marker. Depends on how rough it is. With this we use the China marker. Some things you fake out with freehand. And so we had a world view from the idea of the kids. So we have the different Native Americans, United States. We put continents in between the students.
5 continents.
Right.
Yeah.
And where they're from is like a crossover. Doesn't mean they're from this continent. People are from different shades all over the world.
That's right. We don't tend to think of that. Because
This
like,
shows
when you first take geography, and that like they try to tell you certain things, but
So doing work outside a mural, you have to consider not just the school or the children, but also the homeowners that are right across the street.
they see it every day.
Every day, right.
Yeah, really.
You can't put a piece of garbage, you can't put something that's real controversial, you can't put something like an anti-drug program, 2 needles and a skeleton like the 60s. That kind of
You could
stuff
watch
wouldn't work,
that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Right.
this is, you have to have a happy medium. So that's a challenge for the artist to work out with his skills.
It's interesting too. It's like these faces are the reality of what these continents hold.
And you have to worry about, well, I have to worry about color. The dark color against the other, what colors contrast, how to make things stand out. There's really no things you have to work out that people don't really realize.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of
Scale.
work and, like a long, painstaking process. I would
So
think.
this is from one of the designs one of the students. This idea. Except she wrote, hands reaching out, she wrote the words, reach out to friendship and peace. So taking a cute piece.
This is what that symbolizes. That's right. She never will, and it's like her ideas can carry value, a lot of value and recognition.
They remember every spot they worked on. They worked on here.
Well, how did you start to work on it first?
Just on the whole
white?
wall. Then this wall was black houses. Foot squares, and the foot was divided into quarters again. So we can get all the details. So I can work off my cartoon, which is scaled down, so I know where to put this face. So that took a lot of work. We had good help from Washington High School, the art department. They sent students over and they helped grid the wall. They helped paint it, they helped paint it. Symbolize getting out of school, floating away, being free. No, it is kind of nice. But that's where our theme is put in the balloons. Feast in Milwaukee. That was the year of well, a lot of things happened in 91.
I think it helps. I think visualization helps. Actually, it does put it onto people's minds, and whereas they wouldn't like necessarily, whereas they would otherwise react negatively or angry.
We're getting close to the hospital. Some of the patients would watch us paint. After work, yeah. I didn't know that when it came out.
I bet they like that. I bet it was therapeutic for them
Harley, I've always.
Right. And there you are.
Yeah, that's your signature. Keep you working for next year. I don't know who did it.
You don't know? You did?
Yeah,
Was someone? Oh, you did.
I was with another friend of mine. He was saying, make it large so you can see it. An artist. Copyright your date. It's a painting, even though it's on concrete.
Right.
I think now I can do better work on concrete than I can on canvas. I know the feel of it, how the shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Beloit, Wisconsin, in the shopping mall, Beloit Mall. Instead of, it was going to be on the community center, but it was transformed in there so the whole community could see their teenagers working together on the project. That's the finished product. We didn't have much time.
It turned out well.
Yeah, these were like all black kids, and then doing research, we went back to who was a Black Hawk, and they didn't want to have him up there. They wanted Martin Luther King, or they wanted Jesse Jackson. And I told them Black Hawk had the same problems as African Americans in this country with civil rights with his people. Tried to explain it. No, we want Jesse Jackson. So you're getting Black Hawk. So you have to override sometimes.
Yeah.
But they picked the theme. This is back to Racine with the Wisconsin Arts Board. These are aluminum strips in between the wall, and there's like cork walls. So we had to finish them off. That's the challenge. I like challenges, something different instead of the same plain white plaster wall. It's 35th and Lisbon, between 34th, 35th on the west side of Milwaukee. The whole block was board ups. And the city of Milwaukee hired me to work with the graffiti program, which the kids paint up graffiti off the garages. And these board ups, they wanted to have me paint murals on it. But looking at all these old businesses and storefronts, I came up with a different theme or a different approach to it. This used to be a bank.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah, where you can have people looking out. It wouldn't work, really. What I did was restore it.
Oh.
See, the windows are in, and
That's
there's
great, because I was thinking, what are you
the
gonna do
door
with
is there.
windows? Yeah.
And then we put like the basement windows, put window guards, and there's the front, see? So when you drive by fast, it looks like the area is revitalized.
Well, you look twice, I'm sure.
In fact, it works so good, those are board ups there, see? But there's windows there. It looks like it's a real.
That's interesting.
That's the old Parkway Theater. There's the board ups, the awnings are painted. The window, the doors, the blue doors there. That's all what you might say fake, but it's better than just having the ugly board ups.
Right, but it's real in a way.
Right here is the corner, a restaurant. And in fact, some people came and applied for jobs. It was just a fake restaurant. Must have really painted it good. But working outside in this area, we had a new crew. There was gangs across the street. There was prostitution. The kids were being solicited. It was different. There was glass all up and down the street, and we tried to get the city to sweep it because there was a parking lot across the street, and they said, well, they can only do the parking lot, which I thought was crazy. So how do you like to put your knees on there and try to paint?
Right, I mean, it is the city. Yeah.
So we're trying to address our concerns with the community. And one day we came to work in the morning, there was fresh blood on the steps, and we had to step over it and keep on painting, and the squad cars came, somebody got stabbed there. So it's different working, there you see it, paint next to the blood. Blood, sweat, and tears, you might call it. Huh? It's not funny, but there's the squads, but you have to keep on going.
Right, you always have.
So working the streets is different, that's for sure.
What is the name of this mural?
This is an 8-foot by 16-foot mural done on hardwood panel called Cultural Chromosomes, a self-portrait. So it's my self-portrait. It was just a little different than the regular one head and shoulders. It shows my heritage from my mother and father's side, the Indian, the African-American, Hispanic culture. This is my grandfather, Alejandro, my father's father. And there he has a strong, since he's deceased, I never met him. I have him in light violet, kind of like dead colors, but he's still alive, you can tell by his eye. He's covered up, his other eye is covered up by the symbol that was one of the murals on United Community Center, the Hispanic symbol. I created another symbol, which I called African American. The African and the American symbol is the Statue of Liberty put together. So their eyes match and try to match the nose, which is a nice strong symbol. Here's the self-portrait right here. This is me, the literal realistic side, and then the artistic side. So there's one eye. My other eye is a palette.
Palette, yeah.
And the nose goes into the, this is the conga, the red part is the conga drum. The teeth go into the music. So I'm trying to express the different art forms, even though I can't do them all. They're all part of art, which I appreciate. Music, and here's X-Acto knives and the film and video. We all can relate to the crayons. Our first art form we used since we were little, theater. And this nice sky is kind of stormy, showing the way I felt, more landmarks, and ends with, at the time I was really busy when I was asked to do this piece. So here I am, oh, excuse me, drowning in my work in the river.
Drowning in your work.
Going up for count number 3, last gasp. But put together, it's nice and colorful, and it's, a lot of people like it because they don't know it's a self-portrait. They just like the way it works and fits together, and the landmarks and the different cultures mesh together. But it's more personal to myself because it has meaning.
Very unusual self-portrait.
Thank you. And this is kind of different, how you can wrap around the painting had to be cut and wrapped around to fit the environment here. Otherwise it'd be a flat surface. So this is this could be what you call a portable mural also. You can be unscrewed and put it in another place or building or another gallery, whereas the ones outside are fixed, permanent. So it's a nice change.
So we're glad you're around.
Oh, thank you.
We need you.
Yes.
Okay, so this has been Where the Waters Meet. I'm Christina, and we were talking today with Reynaldo Hernandez, obviously a muralist.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks.